welcome back to the Spider's Web. And what do we have? Oh god. And what do we have on the table for today? Well, we was going to be doing this little character. Unfortunately, she just lost an arm. So I'm just going to have to reapply it. And hopefully it works. Oops. As you noticed from the unboxing video, if you didn't see it, I'll explain. The tab that fits into the slotter base was thinner than something that isn't very thick, and it was thinner than that blade. I added some green stuff into there, pushed it in, and it promptly snapped off. So what I've done is I've added the green stuff, and I've added a little bit of cork matting, and I've glued it down using super glue, as hopefully you can see. It is a fairly strong bond because I actually dropped this the other night. The kit fell off, that arm fell off, but the model stayed on the base. So that goes to prove to me that it is in fact strong enough. I am going to have to trim a little bit here because the green stuff had gone over the edge of the base, but it's an impressive looking impressive looking model. But as I said, we're going to give that a chance to dry properly, and we're going to do this one first of all. And you may have heard a little bit of a crack. You can see a bit of a wobble. She's not glued in, that's why. No, I've not glued her in yet. So we are going to be doing this. These aren't D&D figures, so they are avatars of war figures, but I'm doing these as the Drow because they're Dark Elves, and oh, why wouldn't you? So what I'm going to do first of all is take the model off that, and I think I have an empty paint pot. It's an easy job. It's just a case of kneading it and getting oils from your fingers to reactivate the stickiness in the tack. And here we go. Let's see if that will do the job. Put that in there, and then we'll just add the tab there like so, and that should be okay to use. Okay, so I'll put that to one side for the moment. Now what we're going to be using is, where are we? I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. Where are you? There we are. We are using Abaddon Black to start off. This is the Drow, remember. So we need a Drowish colour. Now, I'm going to use my usual wet palette. My standard brush I'm using, which if you remember is the orange tipped brush, and we're going to be going into the face here. We're just painting all along the face. There is a little bit of armour that seems to have come down the cheek area. And at this stage it doesn't matter if we go over the hair, and this isn't going to hold. This sticky tack is not going to hold the model, it's wobbling already. It's yeah. Now, there isn't as much flesh in these models as I was hoping, but let's see what we can do. And no, I didn't mean that in any odd way. I just wanted to show how I would do black flesh for Drows, because I was asked about it and I wanted to show how I would do black flesh now, rather than the Drow painting that I did ages ago for the Dungeon Command series, where I just painted straight from the pot. Now if you actually glue this down, but we'll sort that out. When I say glue it down, I mean glue it to the base, and then I can stick the base onto the thing. But let's just see how we can get on. Now I am going to change the camera angle slightly. That's better, I hope. So any word that we know is skin, or in some cases we think is skin, is going to get painted black, because that's obviously the colour of Drow flesh. And I think that is some at the hip there, or the thigh, rather. Oops, don't think that was any. Yeah. The problem is when you don't have something to a painted model to work from, it's difficult to try and judge sometimes what is skin and what is just tight clothing. I've painted there what I thought was skin, but now it's looking as though it isn't. Actually, I think there may be a little bit of skin there, and that's clothing. Okay, so that's that bit. I'm not worried yet about the shoes and whatever. Next, we're going to be using now I haven't managed to get down to Games Workshop yet. Hopefully I will get there over the next couple of days, but I can't see my there we are, white scare, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, there's not much left in here. We have white scare, and as we all know, Drow hair is pure white. So we get some of the white scare on our palette. just noticed another bit that should be black, which is the pointy ears. And they would have obviously pointed ears with them being elves. And we will just paint all the hair areas in white. Obviously when it comes down to the final detailing, that will go through washes and other things, other techniques which I will show again a little bit later. Pure white hair for the Drow. It may need another coat a little later. We'll have to wait until this dries to find out definitely, but at a push I would say yes, this definitely needs another coat. And it also needs, as I say, gluing onto its base and making secure on the pot. So that's the hair done. I'm just going to get the black again, just to touch on the ear. There we go. And I'm just looking just to see if there is anywhere there that could be flesh. It doesn't look like it. Oh, that arrow doesn't seem to be too steady, but never mind. I'm going to take this off here now and dry my brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to each side of the tab. As you can see, I've whittled it down a little bit so it will fit in to the slaughter base. So that's there, and then we'll pop her in like so. And I'll wait for her to dry. This other one now should be dry enough to continue with. So let's pop this character onto the base and continue. So we're going with, again, the black skin. Now bear in mind, with this character there's no hair to show. They're wearing a hood. to get into all the recesses of this. With it being a very thin paint, it's not going to be as good a coverage or as thick a coverage as it was when I last did the Drow painting. So it is a case of a few coats of this to get the best coverage. When it comes to applying paint, the old adage, less is more, always seems to work wonders. And that's how that looks. Well, this is right or not, I'm not sure, but there we are. I'm not sure with this one whether to have her so that she's wearing gloves or whether they're wraps. I think she's wearing gloves. Sorry, I think these are just like bracelets, like little wrap round ribbons that, like a sweatband kind of thing. So we'll have her being bare-handed, as it were. And we'll cover up as much of this model. Oh, we have noisy sods outside. Sorry about this. So now going with what looks like flesh is going to be flesh in this model, rather than, yes, that's definitely flesh, or no it isn't. And I keep stopping just to check and make sure that I'm actually on camera. And there we go. Next we will be doing the, I was going to say this will be doing the hair, but we haven't got any hair on this one. Just reminded myself. So we won't be doing the hair. You might find there's a lot of armour, though thin armour, on this character. But the inside of the hood black, obviously we'll have to do the cape black as well. Because the outside I want a bit of a brighter colour. So we'll get this done, and just in case you're thinking it's looking a little bit watery, and that's what the wet palette's for. It is going on watery. You're not going to get a spot on coverage with one coat with this technique. You're going to need at least 2 to get it covering perfectly, but you're going to get a much better finish at the end of it. So I just need to make sure that the edges there are steady, and that everything that is going to be the inside of the cape is inside, or is black. I'm not doing the outside of the cape black. Now, that's that. Has she dried better? Yes, she has. So let's wash our brush out. We have both figures side by side. They have very dynamic poses. I do like these. I could have used a different head, different arm or hand there, but I just like this particular one. Much easier for showing for painting. Plus you see the hair as well, which you don't really see with the other head, and you don't see any of the hair on this, so I wanted to show that as well. But that's why I picked that. As for the hair, I think we should give another coat. It should be well and truly dry by now. I want it fairly bright before we start putting the shadow detail on, or the shadows in rather. And I'm not going to be using black or brown for this. As I've said a few times, a good shadow colour for white is blue. So we're going to be using a bluish wash, and it's going to be Drakenhof Nightshade. It will hopefully give the white a good shadow cast. And then we'll be highlighting the black cape with blue as well. There we are. So there's the white hair given a second coat. And next we have the metallics to think about, because she has armour. And for this I'm looking at Balthazar Gold. I don't want something as dark as Warlock Bronze rather. So Balthazar Gold, we're going to use that one as our base colour for the armour. I'm going to add some of that to our palette. Do that before I forget, and just put the lid back on the super glue. And we apply it to where we think the armour is, what we think is metal, in the hope that what we think is metal is actually metal. May not be. The thing with this particular model range is they don't fit in well with the Drow as being Drow pieces because they'd have a lot of dragons with them rather than spiders, but there's a piece to show how I'll paint a Dark Elf. They will work more than adequately because I do like these models. It's just the actual models I saw and thought, oh, they're nice. And so I ordered them and they came within a couple of days, which was really good. I think I ordered them on, it was either Tuesday or Wednesday of last week and they turned up on Saturday. It's not a terribly thick colour. Oops, we're falling off. So just put that through that, and now I can do the sword handle. Obviously the actual sword blade itself is going to be a different kind of metal to this, so it's not going to have this background or this base colour. We'll be using a warp block bronze for that. There we go. This character kind of reminds me of the female Grist with the two scimitars, crying out loud. This Balthazar goes on her. I'm going to have to go over her again. Oh, heck. Laddie's heard somebody else outside. Yep. So that's that. I believe I don't see any more. Nope, round her neck. And now we'll leave that bit to dry and we'll come over here. See if there's anything in here that we can use or that can be done in the gold, which obviously there will be because they'll both be armoured in some way. So we have this bit of knee armour here, which we will do in the gold. Can't see anything more. Put these bits on the shoulder. There we go. And so it's not covering brilliantly. All we're looking for really is it just sinking into the recesses, which it is doing admirably. I've missed a little bit of the hand there as well, so let's see if we can do this without catching the actual gold parts. Oops, sorry, slightly off camera. And there we are. Let's just and that's what we have so far. I think I'm going to leave it there, to be honest. Give it enough time to settle with these being washes. I want to make sure that they're drying properly before I go into the next steps with things, but a couple of areas I see now that needs touching up. Alright. And I do believe my boots have armoured or metal top. It's not all over the boot, it's just the top surfaces and the front of the shin. And that will do for that. I may have to go over these gold areas again, which is why I want to stop now and give them a chance to dry, because I don't want to be doing everything and then coming back as it's drying and thinking, no, that's not quite right. So, as I say, I'm going to leave it there for the time being, and when I come back we'll continue with how it needs to go. And I think before I do go, I'm going to give this Balthazar Gold another shake and take a little bit more out of the pot. I don't really want to thin it down too much. There's already enough water on my brush. To allow me to do this. Plus it's a very watery paint anyway. So the crown definitely needs painting. There we go. And his prong needs doing as well, and then that's it, as I said, for this video. What all I need to do now is just have a proper look when it's all dry and see how things are looking. So if it needs another coat, then I'll do that off camera. When I come back, we'll see how we'll continue. So, oops, So until next time, hope you've enjoyed this video. As I said, these aren't Drow, they are Dark Elves from Avatars of War range. One of the models is from the Deathmatch series, and the other is from War Throne. Whether they are interchangeable or not, I don't know. All I know is I like the models and I wanted to paint them. So, as I say, until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.